Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Mastats with another video. Don't forget again, of course, to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and click that notification bell. Without any delay, let's get to today's topic. We are looking at the same part from last video, but the second part, which is functions. Remember, so in the previous video, the one before the last one that I just made, I mentioned that y equals, let's say x plus something, y is the output. Then in the last video, we learned a new concept. Instead of just always saying y equals, we said f of x equals, which is the function of x. So when you have a function and you plug in the number, the variable x in it, it should give you an output. So the same way y is an output, x is an output. There is a, no, the same way y is an output, f of x is also an output. My bad, not x. X is an input. F of x is the output. Now, there is a third way to also write, y equals something or f of x equals something, and it's called the domain and the range. Basically, the word domain, it is associated, okay, think about it that way. If you go to my chapter 2 examples, you heard I had the word called abscissa, which is for the x-axis, and ordinate for the y-axis. Same way, domain is another word for the x-axis, and the range is for the y-axis. Meaning, let me actually go back over here and actually explain to you what that means. The domain is basically is the set of the first coordinates of an ordered pair. Ordered pair, remember ordered pair? The word ordered pair is, the expression is this. This is the expression of ordered pair, x comma y. So the domain is for the x, so that's domain. The x is related to the domain, and y is related to the range. So in this example, we're going to be looking at, instead of me saying, y equals x squared plus 3, equals x squared plus 3, and then x, let's say for x equals 0, x equals to 1 and 2, or me saying f of x equals to x squared plus 3, where x is equal to 0, 1, or 2. In this case, I'm not going to be using the word x. Remember, we just learned another concept. Well, in this case, what we're still going to be using, we can use, remember, last time I mentioned, we don't have to always use f of x. We can actually use anything we want. I can say math stats of m equals da 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 da, because that's just a function. You can call the function anything you want, but we use f because function is a circular f, so we use that most often. But this time we're going to use the same thing, f of x equals, let's say, you know what, actually I'm not gonna say f of x, just to give you guys the idea that f of x is not the only thing you can use. I'm gonna say ms. Ms is stands for mass stats. Ms of let's say m equals m cube minus m minus 2. Remember I said earlier in my last video, a second degree equation is an equation where the highest number or the highest exponent is 2. In this case right here, this is called a third degree equation because the highest number is 3. So remember that if you have an m4, m to the fourth power is the fourth degree, m5 is a 5-degree equation. Now, this we have ms, right? We have ms of m equals m3 minus m minus 2. Instead of me using either x, I'm going to say domain equals, and I'm going to give you the domain range, which is minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. This is how you write domain. When you write domain or the range, you have to write it as in a square bracket. So what does that mean? Basically, this means we have a function ms, and we have the input m. We want to find the range. We want to find the range of this thing when the domain is this. So remember earlier we had x, we want to find y, or we had x, we want to find f of x, which is the output. Right here we have the domain, which is this one, and we want to find the output, which is this. This is the output. So how do we do this? That's the same thing we did earlier. It's just different words and different notation. We're going to plug in each of these numbers. So we would have minus 3 cube minus 3 minus 2. And then we would have minus 2 cube minus 2 minus 2. That's for the second one. Minus 1 cube minus 1 minus 2. Then we put 0 minus 0 minus 2. And then we have a positive 1. So that would be 1 cube minus 1 minus 2, and then 2 cube minus 2 minus 2. So these are the domain we just plugged into the function ms of m. Now what would that be? 3 to the power of 3. So that's 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Earlier in my previous video, I mentioned for you guys to remember this. Positive times positive equals positive. Negative times positive equals to negative. Positive times negative equals to negative. Negative times negative equals to positive. You need to know this part. This is very crucial when you're doing equations. You will need to know this part. Why? Because now we have negative 3. So negative 3 times the power of 3 is equal to negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3. what do we have? That would be 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Now, the negative part, we're going to have to also multiply. Negative 3, or negative times negative is what? Negative times negative is positive. Positive, so that will be equals to positive. Okay, that will be equal to positive now. That times negative, because this is a negative 3. That times negative would be equal to what? Positive times negative is equal to negative. That will be negative, so that will be negative 27. Remember, you need to know your sign when it comes to multiplication. So negative times that with negative 27, and here we have negative times negative, which is what? Positive. So that's plus 3 minus 2. And here again, we have a negative 2 to the power of 3. So that would be negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Positive 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So that's negative 8. Minus times minus is positive, so that's positive 2 minus 2. And of course, we're going to go the same way. Negative 1 cubed will be negative 1. Minus times minus is going positive. That will be minus 2. This is 0 minus 2. And this will be 1. Now, we have, this is negative, and that's a plus 1. Positive 1. So negative times positive is negative. So that's 1 minus 1 minus 2. Almost put positive 2 minus negative 2. And 2 cubed will be now 8. This is a plus 2. So negative times positive is negative. Minus 2, minus 2. And so we have minus 27, minus, that would be minus 26. Minus 8, that's 0, so that's minus 8. 1 minus 1 is 0, that's minus 2. And this is also minus 2. And 1 minus 1 is 0, that's minus 2. And that's minus 4 plus 8 is equal to 4. Remember I said earlier in my previous video, you can have multiple x's or multiple input can give you one output, while multiple output cannot be given by one input. And here, this is the case right here. We have right here, we have that's negative. We have 3 output of negative 2, yet we have different inputs for it. We have an input of negative 1, of 0, and 1. They all give the same output. So that shows you guys, you can have the same output with multiple inputs, but you cannot have multiple output with the same input. That's how it works. So what is the range? Well, the range goes from the smallest to the highest. Smallest is minus 26. So minus 26, minus 8, minus 2, and 4. Because we have 3 minus 2s, I don't need to write minus 2 3 times. Now, just a little more, I'm going to show you something else. How would I write this in a better way? I can put it like this. Domain and range. Watch this. Domain is -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Something like this. And the range is -26, -8, -2, and 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, relate them. -3 goes to -8, and -2 goes to -8. Oh, -2 goes to -26, -2 goes to -8, and then we have -1, 0, and 1 goes to -2, and then 2 goes to 4. That's a better way to write it so you guys can see, oh, okay, -3 and -3 is the domain and -26 is the range, or meaning, or -3 is the input and -26 is the output, -2 is the input or the domain and -8 is the output, and -1, 0, and 1 are 3 of them the input, and -2 is the output, and 2 is the input, and 4 is the output. I think that's going to be enough for right now because that's a very long work. If you have more questions about it, you can put it on the comment section below, and I'll do my best to do a second video if it's useful for you guys so you guys can have like a better understanding of what I just did. If this was actually complicated, we can do something smaller than that. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, as well as you can always donate to my Cash App and my PayPal and my Zelle. They are all in the description down below. This is Math Stats. Hope to see you guys again. Until then, Math Stats out.